Hey everybody, this is Trey Henderson with the Fredericksburg Regional Chamber of Commerce. Today's Chamber Talk, we are joined by Chris Russotti with Link Bank and April Malupi, our membership engagement with the Chamber as well.
Hello, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Chris and April, hello everybody. So let's introduce ourselves really quickly. We have April over here. Tell us what you do, April. Who are you?
Yeah, so at the Chamber, it says Member Engagement Coordinator, but actually I'm part 2 of the awesome marketing team here. So I handle more of they call me the aesthetic, but it's really just the social media management, the graphics that you will see for all of the events come from me. So I do that. And then also some special project strategy like Business Appreciation Month that we just had in May. That was really wonderful to showcase all of our small business members here.
Right on. That was great. I'm Trey. I work with all of the events here, but my biggest project right now is Next Gen. And today's Chamber Talk is all going to be about Next Gen. And we are joined by our star of the show here, Chris.
I'm Chris Russotti. I'm one of the commercial lenders over at Link Bank. I'm an alum of Mary Washington.
Yeah, and Ryan, what is a commercial lender for those that aren't familiar?
Yeah, we help businesses with their lending needs. So that would be purchasing property, lines of credit. There's all kinds of stuff that you can get real niche on, but primarily it's finding a new office space and getting a loan to acquire that, or a nice investment property, or maybe a working capital line to help with your accounting needs.
So a very vital part of business growth in our community. That's big.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Well, I have a question here for both of you all. Your professional journey, and how did you get to Thalheimer? How did you find yourself there?
That's actually interesting. I was on a 4-year track, but I came in with enough credits that I was able to graduate a year early, and I kind of did that impulsively. So I ended up getting connected with an alumni through the Career Center on campus, and we got coffee. Turned into an internship, turned into kind of a part-time. Then went full-time over there. So kind of just stumbled into it, but using the network around you, that's what I did, and it worked out really well that way.
Right
Some
on.
of the best jobs you can get are the ones that you stumble into.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then when did you get into Link Bank? When did you start?
I just am about hitting 3 years over at Link Bank, and also through networking, I ran into the market president over there, and they were looking for somebody on the younger side of things to grow with the community and get to meet the younger demographics in the town. And they kind of approached me about that, and I thought it was a good opportunity, so I pursued it then.
Absolutely. And you hit on 2 things we're going to talk about today. That is our networking. It's a huge thing we're going to mention. And as well, how they brought you in for the young side of things. This is Next Gen. We're talking about people preferably in this area of 39 and under. So, April,
Yeah.
you've told me a bit about you, but let's let everybody know you have a really cool story too.
Yeah, so just like Chris, I stumbled into the position that I had before I got to the Chamber. So I worked at a store called Fiore Boutique, and I started there as a sales associate. This was, 17 years ago. Ooh, that's a long time ago.
Okay.
So 17 years ago, I just needed a job. So I walked into the mall in this really cute store. They had Vera Bradley, and I was like obsessed at the time, and they had 5 full cabinets of that. So if I'm talking about Vera Bradley, that definitely will give away my age. So we're talking like 2006 here. So basically started out as a sales associate, moved up to assistant manager, moved up to store manager, and then became the buyer. And we expanded to at least 10 locations, and we had a website, and it was a really, really cool job.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then how did you get to the Chamber next?
Yeah, so I was living in Greenville, South Carolina at the time, and I was pregnant with our 3rd child, and we needed to be closer to family. And it just so happens that my core family unit, they all live here in Fredericksburg. So my parents, my 2 sisters, so we just basically moved to be closer to family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, and then I found a job at the Chamber.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're
It's not on my bingo card, but
Yeah. Yeah, I actually taught French for 5 years I was an education major. Technically in Virginia, you can't major in education, so it was foreign language and pre-professional licensure. So I taught for 5 years. I actually really, really, really liked it at first. Teaching is great. I still love working with kids. That I kind of wanted to switch to a career where I can use skills of networking and being with people, using my extroverted abilities. And I found the chamber online, and I've attended some chamber events and known members that referred me to here, and I really enjoyed the community and kind of the job duty and description and the chamber's duties to the community and the businesses alike. So I found myself here. Now I'm running Next Gen with Chris. Chris is our chair of our Next Gen Advisory Committee. He works with Link Bank, but does some time with us as well. Let's actually quickly talk about Next Gen and our advisory council we've put together. So again, I help lead this with Chris, and we have an advisory council of about, I think we're at 7 people right now, if I count high enough. Chris, so you are the chair. Tell me a little bit about why you chose to join Next Gen and your role as the chair.
Yeah, I always enjoyed Next Gen, getting to meet other people the same age or, thereabouts, and, it helps you figure out what's going on around town and, how to deal with different career, things that come up and, how to handle things and the best way. And I just really love being in a group like that. And bringing it back now I'm just really excited about that, and I wanted to help be a part of that and help it grow and, help the people around us kind of succeed in that way.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, same here. I can't agree more with that. Getting plugged into any new community can be tough. I came from JMU. You said Mary Wash.
Yep.
Coming here and not seeing people my age readily available, so easy in college to make new friends, make new connections, and go to new clubs. In adult life, it's different. And with Next Gen and young professionals, I'm hoping that we can become a landing board for these people as well. And I certainly think I could have benefited from that when I got here.
Yeah, I think it makes work more fun, especially when you find more people your age. And I think it all ties back into establishing those connections, because it's all about the networking.
Mm-hmm.
And working at the chamber, I've seen how networking can really benefit businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of all sizes, all ages. So, I think it's great. That's just the next natural step after you get out of college and get your working job.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, and having that skill. We'll talk more about networking in a bit, but you're right. That skill is vital. So our advisory council, we have a couple different organizations. We meet usually just about a month. Chris is the chair. He, in terms of our agreements, he runs these meetings and helps us as a team flow. Have you had leadership roles in the past, and how would you say you're using those to kind of guide Next Gen?
Not the best example, but the one I always take it from my core is I was in the Boy Scouts, and I was a senior patrol leader. It's so long ago, it doesn't carry over, but that really is what started it all. And I really got a lot out of that because, you're managing the patrol leaders, and then they got all the scouts, but you're managing getting the whole troop in line. So that's what really got it off. And then, in college, I tried and be involved in different groups on campus and, work with events that way and, facilitate teamwork to kind of achieve the common goals. And
I was going to say, I think that experience that you have younger, to me, that's laying foundations, because you have to build off of something,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's like laying the foundation, and the more experience you get when you're younger, it's when you start to build your house, like your brick house.
Yeah, so the Boy Scouts in high school. Oh, I talked over you.
Yeah, it's okay.
But so Boy Scouts in high school, and then you have your college clubs and committees, and then now that we're in the professional space, it's the I'm still on the younger side of my career, so moving up internally, it's different. But getting involved with community, different organizations is a great way to continue building that in tandem.
And I think it's great you actually mentioned the Boy Scouts, because the things we do at early stage have massive repercussions throughout the rest of our lives. I come from an education background, and so many things you can always change. You can always grow up and change and learn new things, but a lot of things are your foundation is built when you're at that age, and that continues the rest of your life. I played soccer when I was in elementary school. I still love soccer. I've always been extroverted. I always will be. I always love talking to people and doing that. So before we move on, I'll finish up talking about our little advisory council because we have a couple other really good people on our team. And on these Chamber Talk series with Next Gen, hopefully we'll be able to hear from all of them. So Chris is the chair. I direct the program and help run this council with Chris. We make a lot of decisions together. He gets a lot of texts about, should we do this? Should we do that? What about this sentence in our speech? Does this look right? And getting down to the semantics, I over-rely on him. We also have Sophia De Hoyos from Rappahannock Goodwill. She helps us run the marketing of the program. Skyla Flock from the Fredericksburg Nationals. She helps us with all things events. As well, we have Adam Flock from the Fredericksburg Nationals, Carter Garrison from Atlantic Builders, Ryan Cudahy from Fredericksburg City Economic Development and Tourism, Joe DeStefano from Redco, and I think that's everybody. I didn't print out the list in front of me, but that's everyone for now.
You winged it very well.
I'm good at winging it. You have no idea. You have no idea.
For those post-prod, add that last person.
Yeah. Post-pod we add in. They'll forgive me later.
Yeah. Do you want to mention who's going to be on next week?
Oh, we actually have a massive person I'm missing. It's the person running our event tonight, Andrew Sulzer with Fredericksburg Technology. He's the chair of our 505, our social networking group. He runs that, and is probably going to be on this podcast in a week or two. Next week, we will hear from Skyla Flock. She's the best. She runs special events with the Fredericksburg Nationals, and she'll talk all about that. Drew, we're so sorry that I didn't mention you first. He's the one I email almost the most.
But real quick, though, I was saying, and on behalf of everybody on the board, we're really excited to be working with Trey to help Next Gen get off the ground with the Chamber. So we're looking forward to the venture that we got going.
Yeah, man, and it's been so good working with all of you, and plus, like, working off these different industries. The collaboration we get from different industries and different skills. So Sophia's with Rappahannock Goodwill. It's a nonprofit. She has a huge marketing background, and she's also Next Gen. So we get all three of these skills. Chris is with banking, works with, I would say one of the biggest skills for your job would be networking and working with people, interpersonal skills. Skyla is an events person, so she does a lot of creativity. She does a lot of also interpersonal skills, but organization and creativity come down to it a ton. Andrew's a technology-based guy. With his job with Fredericksburg Tech, but we find him helping us with the networking group, and that's just because of his church background and how he's always been loving community. So the collaboration is really fun with all these different people, and today's podcast isn't about teamwork. It could be, but it's just really cool, and I'm glad you say that because it's so great to work with each other on this and that's why I love the Chamber and what we do, just working with all of these different businesses and skills. Let's talk about Next Gen, and Chris, I'll ask you, our brave leader, about missions and goals of Next Gen. For people those listening who don't know what Next Gen is, what is it?
Next Gen is a program designed ideally for young professionals around 39 and under. So I guess 18 to 39, but welcome to all, and all are welcome. And the goal is to get everyone together so that they can share experiences, just learn more people in the community, expand their resources, and, develop some soft and maybe hard skills along the way, all the while, enjoying each other's company and building the community together.
Absolutely. And you're right, making these new connections. And I just mentioned all the different industries. Like if I've ever wanted to meet someone from the baseball team or a banker, like I can always walk into a bank. I can do that, but it's so much nicer, at least for me, to meet them at an event where we're both on the same ground. We're both neutral here. So it's just such an easy, much more natural way for me. Yeah. And there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah. Making connections. That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we do have some goals with Next Gen. We are hoping to have 5 events this year. We are hoping to have at least 40 people at these.
What kind of events are we looking to do?
Let's take a gander at we have our monthly, maybe more frequently. They've been pretty popular. Our 505s. 505 is something that our events chair, Skyla, came up with on the dot in the middle of a meeting because we wanted to create a social networking group, but we didn't want to call it social networking group. And we decided that we wanted to meet at 5 o'clock, and Skyla's like, what about 5:05? And just meet at 5:05.
Gives you time to get there.
Yeah, gives you 5 minutes to get from work.
Stop in the hallway. You'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, right. Or you can just leave 5 minutes, 10 minutes early and say you have another meeting. But it flows. It sounds cool. It's a social networking group where we can make those connections. Like if you want to meet that banker neutrally, or if you want people to meet you, if whether whoever's listening, if you work with a nonprofit, if you work with bank, if you work with real estate, this is a great way to find new connections and referrals. There's always the people meet, and it's usually casually at a place like Rebellion, or last month we did Six Bears and a Goat. They're super fun. We also have some raffling that we're doing. Do you know what the raffle is tonight?
Red Nats tickets.
Yeah, we got 4.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and there's 4 of them, which I just found out. And I also just found out that you can redeem them any day.
Ooh.
I thought they were going to give us a specific day, like it has to be this Thursday. And I just talked with our people from the Nats, like, oh, it can be any day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doesn't matter. So
when the MLB players come down, when they're injured,
there we go.
Those would be valuable.
Yes, yeah, you got to use those because there's some dates that are harder to find.
Yeah, there was just one this past Sunday, right?
Right? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about baseball, but that I knew.
Yes, ma'am. Next week, depends on when you are listening to this, they'll have another home series. By the way, personal plug, I host trivia there. That's one of my other little side hustles. I host trivia and then run some DJing there. It's a lot of fun. So 505s we do monthly. We usually have some sort of activity involved with those. They're not just talk to people. I love that. Some people need more encouragement. So we have some prizes and some events and creativity behind that. Chris, do you remember the 2 that we're coming up on?
The upcoming 505 themes?
Yeah.
The dog park one, right?
Yeah. So we're hoping to...
I forgot what you titled it.
We actually don't have a title. We're just going to do Dog 505, where you can bring your dogs.
I have cats, so...
Yeah, clearly. It's cats. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have cats? You have multiple?
No, I thought about that right after I said that. I have one cat.
Just one?
I had a family. Family cats are still around, so that makes it 2.
Yeah, you're downtown. There's always a couple cats within distance.
That's where I picked them up. Got them out of the yard.
Yeah, a little yard cat?
Yeah, really.
We do not have a cat 505 coming up. I don't know if that would work.
I'm not sure if the cat wanted to go anyway.
Yeah, I didn't want to be there.
No.
Yeah, cats aren't network's. Dogs
No,
are. Dogs are
they're
big
not.
networkers.
Big social guys.
Yeah, that's actually why we're doing the dog nights. It's a symbol for networking. I'm not serious. So we do want to do a 505 where you can bring your dogs. And as well, we're partnering up with Bricks and Minifigs for one coming up.
Oh, yeah, that one's exciting. Yeah.
That one's going to be, I'm so excited for that. Where we get to, Bricks and Minifigs is a new business opening up by entrepreneurs that are local and next gen. They are a Lego reseller and collector, and you can go and find Legos. They're going to bring one out. We build it together, and then we raffle it off to one person. So it's going to be a super fun one.
Yeah, it's going to be the cat.
It's just a cat. I love
just
that.
a cat.
Do they have a cat Lego?
I don't know. They just might.
They just might. I'm sure they might have some fictional ones. Because I know they have like owls for Hedwig from Harry Potter.
I mean, cats, they would have to have a cat.
Yeah, they'd have somewhere. So our other event coming up, we are currently in the works of planning a seminar-based event where we have some local speakers. Next Gen, we really want to empower our young professionals. Like, obviously, we all learn things in college, but there's some skills I want to talk about more, and there's some things I didn't learn in college, too. Networking. We've talked about it a lot today. We want our first seminar-based event where we have local business leaders sharing with us. We want them to share about networking. So let's really quickly talk about that event coming up. We're hoping to do it in July. We are reaching out to some business leaders now, and we hope to see you all there.
Yeah, I'm excited to be at that one.
Yeah. I actually would really like to quickly mention with Next Gen, we did some data digging here. I have an intern in the office right now. His name's Spencer. He's coming from Longwood. he is super excited to be with us, and he is really, really trained in data. So I had him working with George Washington Regional Commission, find some data analytics of the population and demographics for ages. So we have data pulled from our whole entire district, which is Fredericksburg, Stafford, Spotsylvania. That creates Planning District 16. And I also pulled some from Richmond to compare. What I did not realize, between the four counties in the city, we have 100,000 people from the ages 20 to 40. 100,000 is a ton. And I've never considered us like a young, happening region or city, but that's so many people. We then need to compare it to is, if we look at percentages, though, it's actually quite low. Richmond City has 34% of their population between 25 and 44, where our region is only 26%. So even though it's 100,000, that is significantly lower. What's also interesting to see to me is in our district, again, we have 26% of people aged 25 through 44, 34% 24 or below. So that obviously populations grow, but what we want to see is that 34% that's younger than 25 coming and staying in our region, but we see a lot of people moving out.
Yeah, but that's where like building a community really can come in. You know, having reasons to stay, people to know, like network, like building your career. And hopefully we can help with that with Next Gen.
There's so many jobs in this community right now, and I think a lot of people are attracted to leave and go to other cities or states even to find new jobs. But if we have 100,000 people age 25 through 44, there's jobs going around. There's plenty to offer.
And the region really is growing, though, like genuinely. Like,
yeah,
you can feel it, the change happening, which is exciting.
I've only been here for 5.5 years, going on 6. And there's just some places that are already unrecognizable. Even downtown, but especially in Spotsy and Stafford, it just seems like whether it's traffic coming from Nova or traffic coming from the city expanding north and south, or Nova spreading south, it just seems like it's getting bigger and bigger. Now, for people who've been here longer than me, you've been here for 10 years now?
Yeah, coming up on it.
Right on. Yeah. You've probably even noticed it more.
Yeah. Let's not highlight the traffic, though. Not our selling point.
Yeah, we don't love the traffic either.
I mean, for me, I came here in 2021, so I'm not even remotely from here.
Wow, I didn't realize you moved here after me.
Yeah, 2021, but it was a summer, so actually this month, June, makes 3 years that I've been in this area, coming from the South. So,
wow. So recent.
Yeah, so recent. But even where I live out in Caroline County, and that place is just exploding.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
I mean, the community that I live in, they have a lot and they want more. So I live on the golf course, Pendleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And they're expanding, plus expanding, and then they're even changing traffic, they're going to add 2 more exits in the neighborhood.
Sounds like the stoplights are coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah,
Carter,
we have one.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
That's a lot of houses coming up.
Yeah.
Sounds like Carter at Atlantic Builders is quite busy. But with all these people moving in, that does mean we're going to have to, I want to quickly plug them into our young professionals group with Next Gen. I think we desperately need these people to know there is a community around them that is young. When I moved here, I did not know that. It was just like me and my teachers and my building, and I slowly but surely learned there's a lot more out there, and I'm still learning about that. Yeah. As a trivia host and a DJ in the area, I see so many young people, and I've never seen them before when I was teaching. So it really opened my eyes to that. Just in Fredericksburg City, Chris, you pointed this out earlier before we got on. In the city alone, there's only 8,000 people.
That's it. That's it. That's the whole population.
Yeah, that's of 25 to 44. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's 28,000 people.
Yeah, 28,000 total, and only 8,000 of them are 25 to 44. That is quite small, so that really shows how much we rely on regionalism. Both of our offices are in the city, but like April just said, Caroline County is growing. Stafford and Spotsy are, I can't do the math this quick, but to put it in short layman terms, they're a lot bigger than Fredericksburg in terms of population. What we're looking at, there's 44,000 people in Stafford, ages 25 to 44. With all of these people living in our region, why are we not uniting more? Why are we not networking more together? I think, the strength of the wolf is the pack. I don't know if that's from Jungle Book originally, but that's what I remember it from. Why aren't we joining together more and collaborating and seeing what we can accomplish?
Well, I do want to just put a plug in here, but I think the next gen is like the next natural step between the chamber initiatives that we have going on with the workforce now, because we're bringing students and businesses together and want our students to stay, learn and work and come back home and stay here and build their careers and their families and all that here. And then also that just will tie back into next gen, because when they come here, when they work here, they're going to need some networking, to make connections.
Yeah, so we can be part of that little onboarding. Welcome to our region, whether you're in Fredericksburg, Stafford, Spotsy, Carolina, or King George. You are in our region. We're excited to have you. And again, we are looking at young professionals, but if you're listening and that's not you, we still want you with us, because I, as a 28-year-old, want to also know older people and want to learn from you all as well. So,
sorry. I'm just laughing because I am not.
You don't look a day over 30, April.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
April is with us, and we'll never know how old she is, but I will say this. She is young at heart, okay?
I drink vampire's blood.
Okay. Where do you get that? So I think that's a really good place to kind of stop with next gen. April ended up wrapping up better than we could. We are the next step in our chamber's progress and engaging our community and business community and utilizing our young population. Chris, what would you say? How would you help us close out?
Well, I'm really excited. We got an event tonight, so I'll see you in just a few hours. Keep this going.
Yeah, we get to see each other twice today, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Chris.
Cut it out.
So real quick, I wanted to ask you, I always like to include something fun here and something informative. I am 28. I've been all over Europe. I'm going to New York City for the very first time in 2 weeks.
I cannot believe that.
Isn't that weird?
Are you taking the train?
We are going to drive and then do some sort of parking lot in New Jersey and just train from there. So my parents live 5 hours away in South Carolina. I see them, every month or so. So I see them all the time. New York City is technically closer, as the crow flies at least. I've never been. It's crazy.
I can't believe it.
What do I need to do? What do I need to do when I get there? Have you both been?
Yeah.
I've been.
I've been several times.
What's the hesitation, Chris? Have you not been? Are you lying about going to New York City?
I've been. They've just been quick trips.
He's only been to Brooklyn.
Oh, actually, I have been. I went. We stayed over the night. We watched Billy Joel, Madison Square Garden. So
oh my gosh, that's so New York.
Yeah,
that's so New York.
The OG.
That's the OG Madison Square Garden with Billy Joel. So I probably can't do that. I don't know if he's in town, but is Madison Square Garden? Do the Knicks play there? Because don't ask more about basketball.
I don't know.
But I wonder if I can still tour that, because I've always wanted to see it. You've been to New York. Did you work
several times? Okay. So with the job that I had before, we would go on our jewelry buying trips to New York, mainly Manhattan and the Koreatown area.
Okay.
So like Broadway and 28th Street through 31st Street, not Madison Square Garden, but Macy's is kind of like around in that area. So I did a lot there. My aunt used to live there right down the street from the World Trade Center. So we would do Thanksgivings there.
That's just you in low Manhattan.
Yeah. So I've been around.
She was that's like Wall Street area, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. She used to work for the UN, so.
Cool. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've been looking at hotels on maps for hours, and I've learned so much about Manhattan geography. So I have to ask. I just think so visually. Do you remember where you stayed, Chris? No?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. Manhattan? Do you even know if it was like Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, or?
I don't remember.
Dude, it's all good. I've noticed that most people now just stay in Manhattan because Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens are just as expensive.
I always confuse them, too.
Just stay central.
They have different neighborhoods, have different names, but I can never.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are in relation to the others.
You just have to go more, and then you'll.
Yeah.
Is it worth, on my first trip, I only have 2 days, is it worth leaving Manhattan, going to those other bureaus?
I don't know. I think that you could tie that into the next visit,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Or go to Coney Island.
Coney Island. Is that a separate island? Where's Coney Island?
New
You don't know?
York? I don't
It's
know.
in New York.
I've never been.
Carly
to
might
Coney
know.
Island.
She's
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll ask Wendy. She knows everything about New York. Those listening, please feel free to comment. Where is Coney Island? But
Is it real?
Is it real? This is welcome to the Chamber Talks, where we ask the real questions. What is Coney Island? Well, guys, again, I'm Trey. I am the director of Next Gen. We have Chris here, our chair, and April, our membership engagement director.
Coordinator?
There we go. Yeah, right on. We're super excited to bring back Next Gen to revitalize it and get everyone here together. Join us next time with Skyla. Come find me and Chris at our 505s, and we'll be back with you with some announcements on our first official ticketed event where we get to hear about networking with some business leaders in our community. So I'm super pumped for this. Chris, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And we're super excited to get this going and be there along the way with you and seeing you at the event. So come on out, say hi.
Right on. Right on. Thanks, everybody.